object-oriented programming in PHP, which is also known as OOP. Object-oriented programming is a style of coding where we organize our logic into objects and classes instead of just writing everything in a procedural way. Okay, so this makes our code more structured, reusable, and easier to maintain. Okay, so let's go to classes and objects. So at the heart of object-oriented programming, we have classes and objects. A class is like a blueprint or a template that defines the properties and behaviors any object can have. Okay, so and an object is an actual instance of that class. Okay, so it takes everything, that it takes the structure of that class. Okay, for example, if a class is a car, okay, so here we have a class which is a car, okay, here, okay, and then an object could be a Toyota or BMW. In this case, we have created an object, my car, here, which takes the structure of the class, the car class, and this object is called Toyota, okay, in this case, because we have given it a brand which is public. This is an access modifier. Public, we have protected, we have private, okay, but here we are using public. Okay, I'm going to explain this. Okay, just relax. Okay, just relax. Okay, so I will explain all of that. Okay, so before I start explaining access modifier, let us first see what are constructors. Or before I go to constructors, let us first see what this code does. Okay, so here we have a class. We have a car class. It is called a car class. So here we use the class keyword to start to define a class. Here we have the name of the class. You can create your own names. Okay, after there we have this brand. Okay, we have this brand, this one, brand. Okay, I'm going to let me explain one by one. Okay, so just relax and listen. Okay, here we are defining a simple class. Okay, here. Okay, and this one, the brand, it is the property. Okay, it is the property. After there we have these functions. We can have this class can have multiple functions. Okay, and these functions are no longer called functions when they are inside the class. They are called methods. Okay, so after there we come down here after writing all the code we want this function to have or to run. Okay, after there we come here down here and we create an object, and in this case we have the my car object. Okay, and this one we use the new class. Okay, we use new keyword, then the class name. Okay, which we want to be the blueprint of this car, okay, of my car. Okay, after there we can access these properties. We can access these properties using the class name and then this slash greater than then brand. Okay, and then the name of the property. Okay, so in this case we have the brand. You should note that we should not include this $sign. Okay, if we are accessing these properties, we should not use this $sign here, right here. Okay, we just use it here and the name of the class. Okay, and the name of the object. Okay, so after there we set it to be equals to Toyota. Okay, as you can see. So after there we want to echo out something. Okay, we want to echo out this one. We want to echo out the brand. Okay, as you can see, we also access it in this way. Okay, like this way, like this one. Okay, we also access it that way. Okay, as you can see. So after there we are going to echo out the brand, which is Toyota. Okay, so after there we are going to go on to the next line. Okay, and here this one, the output is going to be Toyota. Okay, and when we go to the second, here the output is going to be the car is driving, because we are accessing this function. We are calling this function drive. Okay, as you can see, we are accessing everything using these two signs. Okay, so we are calling drive. Okay, which is a function here, which is a public function that we can access. Okay, globally. Okay, outside the class. Okay, as you can see, this access modifier public, it is public. Okay, I'll explain that. So after there here inside the code we have we echo out the car is driving, okay, which we are going to echo out when we call that function here. Okay, so after there, let us save and we see, and we come in the browser and we refresh and see what we're going to get. As you can see, we get Toyota, and after there, because we have not broken that line, okay, we can break it, but let us forget about it. So after there, after echoing out Toyota, which is here, this code is here. After there, then we echo out something. We run our function, which is going to echo out the car is driving, as you can see. Okay, so over here you should note that we can also use echo here. So, but if we use echo here, when we are calling our function here, it is going to get us the return value, okay, the return string, okay, which is in this case we are not returning anything, we are returning a void, okay, which is nothing here. And if we use echo here when we call our function and we save, this one is not going to be run, okay, it's not going to be run, as you can see. So if we do that here, it is going to be run, okay, but the return is not going to be run. So let us try to see if we can run it. So let us use return keyword here. We can use the return. Let us return hello, like that, hello, like that. So if we save and then we come here, as you can see here, we echo out something, we return this hello also, okay, return this hello also. But if we don't use the echo, we are not going to get the return value, okay. So if we save and then we refresh, as you can see, the hello is not there, okay, so we are not able to access the return value, okay. So it's better to use echo. If you want to also access the return value, you should use echo, okay, as you can see, we should use echo. So from there, that is it. Now let us take a look at constructors, okay. Let us take a look at what are known as constructors, okay. So a constructor is a special method called automatically when an object is created, okay. So for example here, let us have some sort of constructor here. So we have our car here. So here, so you should note that this one is going to run when we have called it. This function is going to run when we have called it, okay. It's going to run when we have called it. But we have what are known as constructors, okay. And this one inside the class, it is only one, okay. It runs whenever a new object, a special method, a new object is created, okay. So for example here we can have it public function, then underscore, then here we use what we call the construct keyword, okay. Underscore construct keyword. This is the name of that constructor, okay, of this constructor. It is only one in a class, okay. So after there we can now run certain pieces of code. For example, we can say hello, or we can say let us echo out hello. Let us echo out constructor says hello, like that. So let us end our line like that. So after doing that, you are going to note that this one might be the first to run, okay. Remember here we first create a new object. So remember, and this one runs when we create a new object, okay. It means that this one is going to be the first to run, okay. So if we save and then we come here and we refresh, as you can see, constructor says hello. After there we run this one, okay, we run the rest, okay. So this one is going to run whenever a new object is created, okay. So after there, let us now take a look at another one, okay. You should before we go that, you should notice that there is also certain thing I want to show you something here. So here, this constructor can pass in value, can help the class to get certain values, okay. So for example, if we want to get instead of Toyota, this one is tiresome, okay, declaring them like this, okay. It is somehow tiresome, you write a lot, okay. So instead of writing a lot, what you can do, instead of writing this line, what you can do, you can remove it, okay. After removing it, you can come here and here we can provide the brand, okay, the brand, like that, okay. So if we provide the brand, then to use that brand, what we need to do, we need to use this variable, okay. It refers that it is like a keyword, okay? It refers to that current class we are in, okay? So we can access properties of that class using this, okay? So this, then we want to access the brand, which is right here, the brand, access it like this, okay? The brand, then we want to set it to be equals to what? To the brand that we are going to pass here to the class, to that class constructor. So like that, okay? So if we do that, then we can come here, and then we we do something, okay? So instead of writing the other piece of code where we were setting the brand, we can come here and we pass here. As you can see, if we omit that and we just save, we are going to get an error. As you can see, unquote argument count, too few arguments were provided. So here we need to provide, this constructor needs some arguments, okay, which is exactly one we expected, okay? So we expected only one, which is the brand, okay? So here we need to pass the brand Toyota like that. So if we do that and then we come here and then we do something, as you can see, we get access to Toyota, as you can see here, okay? So here, if we want to get the brand, as you can see, we get the brand, okay, using my car. Then we access the brand. After accessing the brand, as you can see, it is now Toyota, okay? As you can see, we can come here and we can use it also here in this, in the other functions, okay, in other functions, okay? So you should now notice that how we didn't set this name, okay, this brand, okay, separately, okay, here, down here, okay? The constructor did it automatically, okay? It did it automatically, okay, when we are using this one, okay? So you only write the code once, you don't need to write it multiple times, okay? So let us now take a look at another one, which is the opposite of a constructor, okay? And that is called a destructor, okay? A destructor runs when the object is no longer needed or when the script ends, okay? So let me show you something. Let me show you. So I'm tired of using this example, guys. I'm tired of using this example. Let us delete it. You might think that it only works on cars. No, guys, it doesn't work on cars only. So let me go to my blueprint. I have my blueprint here. So I wrote some examples here that I'm going to use to explain. So let me do that. So you can copy it out. You can retype it down. Okay. So paste there. So it is like this, okay? This is the format of this class. This is the structure of this class. So this class is a file handler. So you can use it when handling file, okay? When doing multiple things, okay? You can do it when using multiple things. For example, when you are closing files, or you can use this destructor. This destructor, it is defined in this format, okay? Like a constructor, we use the construct, okay? And for the destruct, in case of a destructor, we use the destruct, okay? We use the destructor keyword, okay? Like its name, it is dash and underscore destruct, okay? We use it like this, okay? Then here we have a construct. This constructor takes in the name, okay? The name, okay? And then a return echoes out a file opened, and this one is going to run, okay, at the end, okay? So I was telling you the application of these destructors, okay? The destructors, you can use them when clearing, okay? When cleaning up resources, okay? Like when closing files, or when you are closing file, or when closing database connections, okay? You can use these destructors, okay? So for example, here we have a file, we open a file, and then we close a file, okay? So this one is going to be the first to run, okay? This piece of code is going to be the first to run, and after there, this one will be the last to run, okay? So let us test it out. Let us test it out. So here we are going to create a file here. Then here we are going to create a new file, and then here we have file handler. Then here we can pass in the name of the file. So here it can be hello.log, like that, or we can call it ella.log, ella.log, like that. So if we save and we refresh here, oh, we have a lot, okay? As you can see, our file opened, file closed. Okay, so we first run this one, which is the constructor, which is echoes out file closed, file opened, and then we run file closed. Okay, file closed, as you can see. So here we can use it to do multiple things. So in the constructor we can do a lot. We can after opening a file, we can come here and then we write to a file. So let us create a function here, a function there, and this function, it is going to be used for writing. So here let us echo out. So here we imagine that we are going to write certain piece of code that is going to write to that file. Okay, so here we are just going to echo out writing to a file, file dash dash dash, like that. After there we are going to call it we're going to call it down there. So after doing that, so it means that this one is going to be it is going to run first, then this one will run first. Okay, it will run second. Okay, after there we are this destructor is going to run. Okay, which is going to echo out file closed. So if we save and then we refresh here, as you can see, we open the file. So here file opened. After opening, we write to a file. After writing to a file, then we close a file. Okay, that is it. That's how we can use it. Okay, so now let us look at object-oriented terms. Okay, the best oriented terms we need, the object-oriented terms we need to know. And the first one is called inheritance. Okay, so this is a powerful object-oriented feature. Okay, and inheritance allows one class to use the properties and methods of another class, and this helps us to avoid repeating code and makes it easier to extend functionality. For example, if you have a vehicle class, okay, for example here, let me come here in my example, then let me get this example here, X out there. So if we had this vehicle class, I want to use multiple examples because you guys, you might think these things only apply to those classes that I'm using, but no, it applies to multiple classes. You can create your own classes with different names. Okay, so for example, okay, if you have this class, okay, this class which is the vehicle class, and then here the car class can inherit from it, and it will automatically have all the features of a vehicle while also adding its own unique features. Okay, so for example here, as you can see here, we have a function here, we have a function honk. Okay, so this vehicle class has a function which is called a honk, and here it echoes out beep beep. Okay, as you can see. So after there it has a property which is brand. Okay, so after there we come and we create a class, another class down here. It is called a car class, as you can see here. It is called a car class. Okay, and this car class it inherits from the vehicle class. Okay, it inherits from a vehicle class. Okay, from a vehicle. So as you can see, we use the extender keyword, okay, to make it inherit from a vehicle. Okay, so after there, as you can see, here it has another function which its own function. Okay, it has its own function which is drive. As you can see, the car is driving, it's there. Okay, and this one will be like this honk, or will be like the characteristics of all cars. Okay, of all cars. Okay, so after there, let us now see what we are going to use these classes for. As you can see here, we create a new car, which is my car, and then we use the new keyword to create it here using here we create a new car, as you can see. So after there, we go to another to this other line. Okay, as you can see, so here we are able to access the brand using this my car, because this one is going to inherit all this class. Okay, this car class. Okay, it has also inherited this property, this public brand property. Okay, as you can see, it has also inherited, so which means it has it also here. Okay, as you can see, okay, there it is also there. Okay, though it is not seen. Okay, but it is also there. Okay, as you can see, so here we are able to access it, and we call it BMW. After there, we can echo out that brand, which is BMW. Okay, after there, if you know how to use the constructors, you have seen how we use constructors. You can also use constructors to omit out this code. Okay, instead of using this code, and we can just pass a BMW here inside the class. Okay, you can try that. So after there, we echo out the brand. After there, we can now access. Okay, you should note that we can also access the honk through this class. Okay, through this class. As you can see, the honk, this one, it is like it is here, so it is also here, but it is invisible. It is also there. Okay, this honk, it is also there, but it is invisible. Okay, it doesn't need to be shown. Okay, as long as we have inherited, okay, from this vehicle class. Okay, so after there, we can call it, as you can see, and we can also call ours, which will create inside our class, which is a car. Okay, so as you can see, so we have got the output. So we are going to first output the brand. After outputting the brand, we are going then to output this one to echo out a beep beep. After echoing out, we are going to echo out this drive. The car is driving. Okay, so if we save and then we come here and we refresh, as you can see, we first echo out BMW, then we go to beep beep. After there, the car is driving, as you can see. So here the car extends the vehicle, so it automatically has the honk method without rewriting it. Okay, so after there, let us look at another concept in object-oriented programming, which is called polymorphism. Okay, so polymorphism simply means many forms. Okay, in object-oriented programming, it allows different classes to share the same method name but behave differently depending on which object is calling it. For instance, a method called the move. Okay, so for example here, let us delete all this code here. Let's delete it. So I'm going to use multiple examples, guys. I'm going to use multiple examples. So for polymorphism, here we have this example. So let me use this one instead of using. Let me use this one for the animals. X. Okay. For polymorphism, let us save. Then let us go down here. Then we need to copy everything there. Okay. So by pressing Ctrl V to paste everything there. So after pasting there, so we can work out. So as I've told you, our polymorphism means the same method. Okay, the same method name behaves differently depending on on that object. Okay, so for example, here we have this speak. We have this class, this animal class. Okay. And here we have, it has only one function, which is speak. Okay, and here, as you can see, the animal makes a sound. Okay, and this speak, we have here multiple classes, two classes. Okay, the dog and the class. Okay, the dog and the class, they speak. Okay, and they speak because they have this function, as you can see, this function. Okay, which is the speak. But here we are overriding everything. That this function does. Okay, that this function does. Okay, as you can see here, we echo out the animal makes sound. Okay, but here, as you can see inside here, the speak, we have this speak is now echo in the dog class. It is echoing out the dog barks. Okay, and after there, in here, the same goes to the cat class. As you can see here, it is echoing out a different statement that the cat meows. Okay, but they are using the same method name. As you can see, they are all using function. They are using speak function, as you can see. Okay, so if we do that, we can now come here and we access the speak function. Okay, so this is called a polymorphism. Okay, you use the same they inherit from the same class, but they use the same method name, but different. That method can do different operations. Okay, different work. As you can see, we create a new object, dog, and also the cat. Then we call the speak function. Okay, functions. So if we save and then we refresh here, as you can see, the dog barks and the cat meows. Okay, as you can see there. Okay, so that's it about polymorphism. Okay, one method name, many forms. Okay, so let us look at another concept which is called encapsulation. Okay, let us look at encapsulation. So here I have let me go to my examples that I wrote here, and we look at encapsulation. So here we have encapsulation. Let me copy everything here. Let me cut them out so we end with that. So let me come here and I replace them here. Okay, I'm using different examples. Okay, guys, I'm using different examples. So encapsulation means restricting direct access to some parts of an object and only allowing controlled interaction through methods. Okay, so in PHP we do this using access modifiers, which I taught you in the start. Okay, when we are starting the video. Okay, when we are starting this part. Okay, so and the first access modifier we have public. Okay, public, which we have been using on functions, public. Okay, and this public allows access okay, from anywhere. Okay, and we have another one which is the private. Here we have the private here, this private. Okay, and this private allows access only inside that class. Okay, only inside that class. So if we try to access, let us access balance. Okay, as you can see, it is private. Okay, let us try to access it outside here, outside. So globally, yeah? Let us try to access. So let us first run this code and we see if there is any error. As you can see, there is no any error. We output 50. As you can see here, we call this one. We set this one. We set the deposit to be 50. We pass in this amount. Okay, the amount here which is required, we pass it there. So after there, we echo out the return of the get balance. Okay, as you can see here, we return the balance. Okay, the balance which can be accessed only inside this class. Okay, only inside this class. So let us access it outside. So let us use this account. Okay, as we have been doing account, then we want to access the balance. Okay, like this. Okay, like that. So let us echo out this information, echo out like that. So if we do that, remember it is private. Okay, it is only accessible inside the class. Okay, as you can see here, we got a fatal error, unquote error, cannot access private properties. Okay, bank account balance. Okay, balance in this file. Okay, so we cannot access it outside. Okay, because it is private. Okay, and if we set it to be a public like this, and we save, and then we refresh, as you can see, we can access it. As you can see, we get a 0 out. Okay, as you can see. So that is it. That's about access modifier. So let us now take a look at another access modifier which I want to show you. So we have seen private and we have seen public. So let me show you another one which is called the protected. Okay, so for the protected, let me demonstrate with the function here. So we have not seen about functions. So let us now use a protect. So let us create a private. No, we are using protected. So let us use protected our function. This function is protected. Let me call it passwords. Then here and here. So inside here, let us echo out something. Let me echo out passwords like that. So if I save and then I come here and then I access it, can I access it? $account. Then I want to call the passwords function. Passwords, it is right, passwords. Okay, so let me call it like that. So after calling it, let me refresh. So when I refresh, I get also a fatal error. So cannot access private property. Okay, private property, bank account balance. Okay, so we need to remove this one. This bank account. Okay, this. Oh no, Control Z. We need to remove this one. This one where we're accessing, because it is now private. Okay, the balance is private. So if we save and then we refresh, as you can see, we get a fatal error. Also here, we get a call, unquote error, call to protected method. Okay, bank account, this one, passwords from a global scope. So we are calling it from a global scope. Okay, so what we can do, we can this one for the private, for the protected, it is accessible. Okay, inside a class or inside the class or in subclasses. Okay, we cannot access it from globally, okay, outside that class, okay, as you have seen, okay. So you have seen about access modifiers, you have seen how we can use all of them, so and what they all mean, okay. So let us now to look at another concept, which is abstraction, okay. Let us now take a look at abstraction. So here we have a piece of code, here we have a piece of code, abstraction. So let me remove it, move it like that, then I paste it here, I paste it there, so that we can use it, okay, so that we can use it. So this is abstraction. So let me explain about abstraction. So abstraction is all about hiding unnecessary details and only exposing what is important, okay. So in PHP, abstraction can be achieved using the abstract classes and interfaces, which force subclasses to implement certain methods, ensuring a consistent structure across related classes, okay. So for example, we have our code here, let me show you something here. It is right, let us go to the start here. So this one, we have seen that abstraction means hiding details and only exposing what is necessary. So we use the abstract classes like this. So here we use the abstract keyword on the start of that abstract that class, okay. We want to make it abstract, so here we use the abstract keyword, as you can see, then the rest continues, okay, the rest continues. So here we add, as you can see here, these are functions, okay. The function inside this abstract class, they are also abstract, okay, which makes them not have a body, okay. All abstract functions should not have a body, okay. So if you note that here, if I create an abstract public function here, which I call, let me call it perimeter, and then I create a body here, I give it a body, okay. So if I save and then I refresh, you are going to see an error. So as you can see, abstract function, this one, perimeter, cannot contain a body, okay. So if we remove this abstract keyword, if we remove it there and then we refresh, as you can see, the code continues, so we output this information. And this information, we output it because we did this. So we do this as after doing that, after writing our abstract. So let me, after creating our abstract class, then we come here, and this one is going to we create a class circle, which extends the shape, okay. So it is going to inherit from the shape, okay. So here it has a property which is private, and it is called the radius. So after there, we have here a constructor here, which takes in the radius, as you can see, takes in the radius, and here it initializes the radius so that we can access it from other functions, okay. So after doing that, then here we have a function which is area, okay. As you can see, area. So here we are creating area, and the area, we are giving it the body, okay. So it is right here, it is abstract. Now for us, we give it a body, okay, inside this shape class, inside this circle class, we give it the body, okay. We can give it the body, okay. So we can give it, so even here we can so let me after giving it the body, we return we get the pi. This one, pi function, it is going to get the pi value, okay. After getting the pi value, which is 3.144 something, 14 something, okay. So there we are going to multiply it with the radius. As you know, calculating the area, we use a pi r squared, okay, pi r times r, okay. So we multiply with the radius by the we multiply with the radius and even another radius and then another radius, as you can see. So after there, we come here and we create a new circle, and we give it a radius which is 5, and then we echo out the we access the return value, okay. We echo out the return value of the area function in our circle class, okay. So we get this output. As you can see, we get this output. You can try calculating using this area, okay, this radius, which is 5. You will get this output, okay. So after doing that, I wanted to show you something. So here we can come here, and then we provide some, let us echo out perimeter like that. So let us come here, and then we can we access it right here. So let us come here, and then we access it. So we want to access, let us access the circle. So we need to give it, so it needs to have circle. Let us access it with this. So let us access the perimeter function. So if we do that and then we save and then we refresh, as you can see, we get this echo, the perimeter. Okay, so we can also access this, okay, without recreating, without without overriding, okay, without overriding it inside the circle. Okay, as you can see, we can access it. Okay, so but this one gives us access that we can omit writing the body here, inside here. Okay, and we give it and we create it inside here. Okay, that's about abstraction. That's about abstraction. The abstract class shape, okay, forces all child classes to implement the area method. Okay, to implement this area method. Okay, so let us now look at interfaces, which I like. Some guys, I like interfaces. Okay, somehow I like interfaces, but I like this one. This one, why do I like using these abstracts? Okay, using these abstracts because of because of the fact that we can omit out giving out the bodies. Okay, the bodies, which we can do in interfaces when using interfaces. Okay, let me show you about interfaces. Okay, you will see some difference. Okay, so for the interfaces, for the abstracts, here we can use abstracts. Okay, here in order to make to avoid using creating a body, we can add this abstract to the function. Okay, before the function. Okay, so that we can omit out giving the what, giving the body. Okay, writing the body. Okay, we use the abstract. Okay, but for the interfaces, we don't need, as long as the class, this class is as long as this class is an interface. Okay, it uses the keyword, as long as we have a keyword which is called the interface. Okay, here. Okay, we don't need, then we don't need to create other here. Okay, we don't need to make these ones. Okay, we don't need to give them bodies. Okay, we don't need to give this function a body. Okay, so let me show you with this example. So let me show you with this example, which is the last example I have. So let me X out. So and then we come here, and then I want to paste. Let me paste everything. Let me paste everything there. So here, as you can see here, so as you can see, let me first explain to you what are interfaces. Okay, what do they mean? Okay, what are they in object-oriented programming? So interfaces are like constructs. Okay, so an interface defines a list of methods that a class must implement. Okay, but it does not provide the actual code. Okay, and this is useful when different classes need to share the same behaviors but implement it differently. Okay, so for example, this one we have this car. Okay, we have this car which implements the vehicle interfaces. Okay, so as long as it so in order to use this implement keywords, this one must be it must be an interface. Okay, so let us try to change it to a class vehicle, like that. Okay, so here it is not going to generate an error, but it is going to generate error in the browser. So if we do that, as you can see, fato error nan abstract method vehicle. Okay, this one. Okay, this one, method vehicle start must contain a body. Okay, it must now contain a body. So if we give it a body, so here we need to give it now a body. So after giving these ones, the start and the stop function a body, and we save, and then we come here and then we refresh. As you can see, syntax error, unexpected. Okay, unexpected token. So we need to omit out this one. So let us save. So let us refresh again. We get an error. This is the error that I wanted to show you. So this is a fatal error. It is really critical. So as you can see here, we get a car cannot implement a vehicle interface. Okay, vehicle. This it is named the vehicle interface. Okay, which is not an let me okay, this one, which is not an interface. Okay, it cannot implement something with a class which is not an interface. Okay, so it must be an interface. Okay, and as long as we create it, we use the interface here, interface keyword there instead of a class, and then we save, and then we refresh. As you can see, interface function vehicle start cannot contain a body. Okay, so it cannot contain a body, so we need to remove those bodies. Okay, so I'm showing you the errors. So now we need to use the semicolons. So there I'm showing you the errors that we could generate. So as you can see, it is now running smoothly. As you can see, cast started, cast stopped. These ones, as you can see, so this one, the function start, and this one we use the implement. So we use the implement to implement all of what the interface, this interface has. Okay, and here we need to override everything. Okay, we need to override all the functions. Okay, the start and the stop. Okay, so if we don't override them, for example here, if we comment out this one, shift, okay, if we comment out that one and we don't override the stop, and then here let me not access it like this, let me not access it like that. So if I refresh, you're going to see the class can contain one abstract method and must therefore be declared abstract. Okay, or implement the remaining method, or we should implement the remaining methods. Okay, so we need to implement this one. So whenever we use interfaces and we use the implement, we need to implement everything that is inside. We need to override everything that is inside the function that are inside that interface. Okay, so this one makes the code somehow strict. Okay, somehow strict to certain laws. Okay, which is not which is not in the case of using, or when we use abstract classes, because we have the power, we can omit out some functions which are not abstract. Okay, as you saw previously. So here we need to override everything when we are using implement. Okay, so Control Z, we need to override everything. So we need to override everything here. As you can see, we need to override everything. So if we save, then there is no error. As you can see, there is no error. Cast started because we only call the start function. Okay, so guys, I think you should master how to use implementation and extension. So you should master how to use interfaces and abstraction, how you can use interfaces and abstraction. So master them, guys, master them, and you will become a good programmer. Okay, so a good programmer is the one who write code which can easily be explained. Okay, which other developers can explain, even though they were not the one who wrote that code. Okay, so you should also master using comments. You should master using comments very well. You should document your code. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Just don't forget to click the subscribe button. Okay, click the subscribe button if you have not subscribed. Okay, I'm going to release some trending some trending videos. Okay, some trending courses. Okay, in the future. Okay, so make sure you have subscribed and you have clicked the bell icon, so that when I release those courses, you are the first to be notified. Okay, guys, you will be the first to be notified if you click that bell icon. Okay, so thank you guys, thank you.